Hey everybody, this is Daniel on 3 Zone Builds. On this one we are going to be making the head and putting the legs on the body and attaching the head. So right now we were just measuring everything out so we can get it the right size. This is a piece that we're going to make the top bending part of the head. It's going to be very angular, so hopefully it'll look pretty good. We'll see. Have to make sure I cut it in as close to the same spot as possible, so that I don't have to do too much trimming down. I missed a little bit, so I have to cut that down. Okay, there we go. It's going to be a bit thinner than that, though it's not going to be quite that thick. I want it just a little bit of that distance. Going to cut that down. There we go. So we have to cut this one down so it pretty closely matches that size. Okay, so we want to get that piece cut down to about the same size as the other one, and they're going to overlap each other and bend down, creating the top of like an octagon. Like that. You want to glue them together so that they're nice and strong. You want to be really quick with that so that we don't miss the opportunity to glue. I did miss it a little bit, so I had to go back and glue it back on. We need that piece for the what the entire head is going to rest on. So it won't stay up by itself very nicely, so we might need we're going to make a support beam to be inside of the head to attach to the piece as we glue it down and kind of make it a bit stronger. So I found out the rolling of it didn't work, so I'm just going to cut this thing into a bunch of pieces and glue them on top of each other and make a stable enough beam. And that won't take too long, and it'll be pretty stable. I find that you can do this in most builds, actually, to make them stable enough is just glue these pieces together until it's as high as you need it to be, and it'll work pretty good. If you're doing a right angle, like you're trying to glue two walls together, then I recommend making a beam that would fold and connect them instead of doing this. That way it would work much better than what I'm doing, but this is for supporting something that's on top of another object. So we're just going to glue it down. Make sure it's nice and solid. Try not to flatten it. There we go. That actually is not too bad. So we're going to glue it on. I'm going to glue the top onto this beam. It's going to be a little wobbly until we get those sides glued on. So we're going to try to glue on that side first right there. It's hard to get in there though, so we're just going to glue on a bit of it. Got to go back around because I got the cord tangled up. Okay, we want to get both sides glued on nice and tight. We want to get all sides, not just both. So put a little bit of glue on the outside and enough on the inside. We don't want to be making the glue too visual because this stuff does not dry 100% clear. Kind of distorts it, and it's a bit of a like a hazy white, and it doesn't look too pretty. So that piece that we just glued is going to be the back of the head. And that side right there is going to be the front. Now we need triangles to fill in those gaps, so that it's not open looking into the head. That would not look too good. So this is more of just a trial and error thing. Unless you have a better tool than I do, my way is just cutting it down until I get the right angle. I couldn't think of any other way to do it at the time. I'm sure if there are, but at the time I didn't think of anything else. So we just want to keep cutting it down until we get pretty close, and then we'll see how that all fits, and we'll just do it over and over. That's still too high. So we're just going to see how it fits and keep doing it until we get it right. Gonna just shave off a little tiny bit on the sides. There we go. That fits pretty nice. So we're going to glue it into place. Put glue in all the cracks, make it nice and strong. All over the thing. Clean up the edges a bit. There we go, that's one. Now we gotta do 3 more. So I considered doing it like that, but it didn't seem to work out. So I just measured its width instead of its height. And did the trial and error guessing again. Except this time I cut it down more at first than I did on the last one, so I have less cutting. So we're just gonna finish cutting that. It's pretty close, but it's not close enough. I want it to be a bit more exact than just a guess. So we're gonna get it as close as we can. And just a little bit more, I think. Off the top especially. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we're gonna glue it down again, nice and solid. No such thing as too much adhesive. Make sure it's all in there really nice and tight. We don't want the head to be wiggling around, because I don't know if any of you have watched Star Wars, but in the Star Wars movies, I guarantee it, that you will not notice that whenever R2 turns his head, that the entire head caves in, because it wasn't supported right. So we're gonna cut out another triangle yet again. As I said before, this is mostly just trial and error. If you have a better way to do it, I'd love to hear it. I have not found a better way. I am obviously doing it just off of a hit and run kind of tactics, so it's not a very good one. So if you guys can come up with something, let me know, and I'd be so happy to hear it. Just tell me in the comments down below, and I will respond to you as soon as possible. Okay, we just got that other side to trim down a little bit more. Just want to shave it off till it's pretty close. Got to cut down that side so it's not flat on top, because we really do not want that. Man, it's still too tall. Not at the right angle quite. So we're gonna cut it down a bit more again. Just shave it a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna glue it. As I have said before, you go through a lot of hot glue, so it's cheaper to do Elmer's, but it also takes a lot longer to work with Elmer's because it takes so long to dry. So if you can do hot glue and you have the funds to do it, I'd say go ahead and do it. It is most definitely faster, so if you have a time span that you need to finish something in, like if you have to get something done really fast, then either use hot glue or a 2-part epoxy. Hot glue is a bit safer though. 2-part epoxy is more for things that need to be really strong and you don't want to break. So it works really well, but hot glue works a lot better for cardboard. I don't think 2-part epoxy does really work with cardboard. It works more if you're using 3D printing. There we go. Ran out of glue on that stick, so I need to grab another one. Gonna smother the edges of that thing with glue so it won't wobble at all. Got a bit of glue on my finger a second ago. Like that. Alright, we're going to cut these edges down so that his head is an octagon shape completely, not just the top of it. I had to stop videoing because it got too late in the night, so I had to head inside, go to bed. So I continued in the morning, and that's what that jump was. So we just about got that piece cut. It looks pretty good the way it is right now. There we go, not bad at all. So now, we don't want it to just be a plain head, so we gotta add a bit of detail. those are the plotting points where we're going to put the objects of detail. So R2 units always seem to have multiple sensors and scanners and cameras, so we're going to give him 2. Going to give him a round one and a rectangular one. I'm going to shave this till it's actually round. Okay, there we go. So now we got our 2 sensors. We're going to put on the main eye first, right there. And then the other one, the sensor bar. And that is his head. Now we're going to attach it. Got to get the camera so you can actually see it. I was debating about making it able to rotate, but then I kind of decided just for the start I'll glue it on, make it solid on there. Being such a large object, it takes a lot of glue to get it in there and have it stable, so I went around all the sides and squeezed in as much glue as I could. So now it's actually a pretty stable thing. The real R2 unit, though, he's always angling back. So we want to make sure we get that nice angle on him to make it look good. That first dab of glue I put on didn't really stick to the thing, so I had to put it along the edges. Along the edges and on the top. On the legs, so that actually held it on really nice. We're gonna finish putting this leg on. We'll start putting this leg on. It was really hard because we have to get the right angle so that the thing is not constantly wobbling. We have to line the legs up as close as possible. I saw that that foot needed a little bit more glue. So I had no way of holding it up while gluing it on. So I grabbed a wood block that I found lying around, and I used that to hold it up. It wasn't close enough. Well, it was pretty close, so I just had to re-angle it to get it right. And that allowed me to glue the leg on. Put glue all over the thing. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. So this time we cut the pieces out, made the head, and attached the legs, so we really got to saw the shape of what the thing looked like, and that's when I started getting excited, when I could tell what the thing was going to look like in the end. In the next episode, we are going to make the base foot, that foot that sticks out in front of him. We're going to make that and the bottom piece for his body and get those things set in, and then we're going to finish it up. And in that episode, I'll show you some pictures and just all kinds of cool stuff. So I hope you keep watching. Here are the links. You can go to my channel in the top right. In the top left, you can go to the playlist that I have all of these in. So thanks for watching.